Colombia or South Africa? Which country do I enjoy best? Hey, Jason here, and if you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through Joburg, showing you how beautiful of a place it is here, how safe it is here, and how much I really love being here. And most importantly, I've been talking about success, what it is, how to get it in the three areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And so, in case you're new here, success defined by Earl Nightingale is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And for me, one of my worthy ideas is living abroad and going to different countries. So I thought today I would just talk to you about, which country do I actually like best, Colombia, or do I prefer South Africa? And so I'm going to give you the pros and cons of each one because this is something that like most people don't get is like leaving one country, there's going to be things that you love in the new country you're going to. However, there's going to be some things there that you don't like also. Like I haven't found this perfect utopia place yet. So even though I've been to a lot of countries, like there's still, little things here and there that kind of start annoying. And so let's talk about first, safety wise. Now I consider personally Johannesburg a lot safer than Medellin. It's not saying like something bad is most likely to happen to you in Medellin. It's like depending on what your habits are, you can just get out of hand a lot easier in Medellin. It's going to stem into another thing that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And so here in Johannesburg, I believe here, like, you have to really be looking for trouble or just putting yourself in a bad situation for something to really happen to you. Now, remind you, I'm talking about as someone who's a foreigner. So what that means is, as a local, like in case you're watching this and you are originally from Johannesburg, there's things in your experience that I just don't experience. One of those is like I'm in an Uber, so I get from point A to point B. And most, if anybody else that comes here, like especially any other type of Americans or thing like a person like that, nothing, they'll be using those type of services. So they're going to be getting straight to point A to B. You're not going to find too many people that walk around the streets like I do. And so because of that, I do consider just Johannesburg a lot safer. Just give you an example, like I was talking to one of my friends who's in Colombia still, and they were telling me about how some of the druggings that they do out there, scopamine, I think it's called, and it happens in nightclubs. Just to let you know, like it ain't like people just gonna be walking around in daylight and blowing drugs in your face. It's just a nighttime thing. So I think like because of that, the nightlife is just a little bit in Medellin, just a little bit more unsafe. Like you really need to know who you're around. And that's why I don't do nightlife, by the way, guys. It's like, it's just not my thing anymore. And so because of that, it makes no matter where I go in the world just a lot safer because I'm just away from that element. And then, so I will give that one, I will give safety to Johannesburg. I do think Johannesburg is a very, very underrated city, especially when it comes to the level of safety and security here. If you're in the right area. I know people told me like there's bad areas, but there's bad areas of the U.S. also, guys. The second thing that I would go to is, let me see, let's go to quality of life. I will give quality of life to Colombia, actually, believe it or not. Colombia is just a beautiful country, man. Like people just don't understand how beautiful Colombia is. Like it's so much natural reserve, so many trees. Man, I just love that place, and a lot of it's still been untouched. Meaning, there's not a big farming agriculture everywhere. But I think there still are some indigenous tribes in certain parts of the Amazon and their borders. Like Colombia is really, really beautiful from that level. That's just one of the things I really love about Colombia. And I'm talking about Medellin, by the way, which is a big city there. Because like, even though you're in a big city, like you can go get lost in nature in less than 20 minutes. for here in Johannesburg, there's places to go, but it's like Pretoria, and here like you need a car here. I'm gonna be very honest about that. Like Johannesburg, the logistics and the layout of the city, because you need a car, like it loses points for me on that because I really like not needing a car. And sometimes you don't want to use Uber all the time. Like you want to be able to just either bus or take a train to different areas. And that's one of the things with Medellin. You can do that easily. So Medellin wins that one as far as the quality of life. Because, and let me rephrase that, if you like to do things like that, because those are the things that I like to do. I'm really big into that, like glamping stuff like that. So like that quality of life that Medellin offers is way much better to me. I think some of those things are here. However, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it's hard to find things online, no matter what country you go to, because most countries not laid out like the United States, where everybody knows to go online. And so here in Johannesburg, every once in a while, I find things through either TikTok or what's another Instagram. And so when I do, like, then I find things, but like it's hard to find like where are some good reserve game reserves to go to, what are good like glamping places to go to, because most of the stuff you just Google is like so expensive. You just like, I don't want to do it. It's not going to be worth the experience. And so I haven't done much here yet. So let me say that. So this is, but for right now, based on whatever I experienced, I love Johannesburg, but I will give quality of life to Medellin, Colombia. Then from there, I will go into which one is more affordable to live. This one, hands down, Colombia wins. Colombia is a way more affordable country than South Africa, guys. Especially if there's any Americans watching, you're going to be paying cheaper than what you're paying in the U.S. for a majority of the things here. However, you're not going to be. You can't come here on a Social Security pension alone like you can do in Colombia, maybe. So I know there's people that I've met in Colombia that they're just off a Social Security pension. I don't think you can do that here in South Africa. Like you need to you need to be bringing in a good minimum amount of money. So Colombia wins that because the food is cheaper. The the food is cheaper overall. The housing is cheaper in Colombia. However, I will say for Johannesburg, the for what you can get for luxury living here is very affordable. Whoa, man, it's very affordable. Like they have some really nice places here in Johannesburg, and you're not breaking the bank at all. Like you're not paying nowhere near what the United States rent is for anything. So even though overall everything is much more affordable in Colombia, I like the luxury living here in Johannesburg, just because it's top notch. Like this is top notch. When you get in a luxury place, it's top notch, guys, and they have some really beautiful houses out here. Like I have to give them that. After that, I will have to go into. Let me see. I don't want to go into too many different topics, but the next one I would go into would be the ability to immerse in the culture. Now, this is going to depend on each individual, and as me, someone who was able to, I feel like I was able to get a good 60, 70% immersed inside of Colombian culture. Um, I think coming to Johannesburg, the culture is going to be a lot more intimidating. And the reason being is there's so many different cultures in Joburg. If you're an American, like this is your first time ever leaving the United States, I actually don't recommend Johannesburg for you unless you're coming from a very big city, Chicago, New York City, or LA, because then you can automatically adjust real easy for the pace up here. But just a regular American, just if you're planning on relocating to South Africa, don't come straight to Johannesburg. And it's not a knock on Johannesburg. You got to remember, this is a big, busy city. Like this city is a big, busy city, and It's no joke. And what I mean by no joke, meaning like it's gonna be easy for you to get lost. It's gonna be easy to get frustrated. Like there's so many languages here. Like there's so many different cultures here. Like, and I can pretty much guarantee if you're a Black American or even a white American coming here, you're not going to understand any other culture. Me as a seasoned traveler, I'm still slowly getting to understand. I've almost gotten down how to identify colored people from light skinned people. Like it's crazy, man. Like, and then like just think about if you're trying to go into someone's Zulu, Petty, Venda, Sutsu, Tswana, like it gets deep. So like Joburg is a big mix. Plus there's people from Pakistan here. There's Indians here. There's a large Indian community in South Africa. You have Dutch here, you have British here. Like it's a mix. You have Afrikaans. Like when I tell you South Africa is the melting pot, what they make us believe America is, the true melting pot is here. So because of that, that's why I don't really recommend Johannesburg first because it's so many different cultures. You're just going to be overwhelmed. And I would hate for someone to have a negative experience here because they were overwhelmed by not being able to understand so much. And that's something I don't know if most South Africans or even Africans in general would understand that because you all are used to. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just assuming there's some similarities between all the languages because I don't know how everybody around here can speak in CBD. And I'm telling you, like, I know I hear people mixing different languages. And then they'll just throw some English in there out of nowhere sometime. So I'm assuming there's some kind of similar wording structure or maybe vernacular that, some words is maybe similar so people can understand it no matter where you go. But you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean, like, right here. Like, I don't even understand how people speak here sometimes. I'm telling you, I've heard conversations that switch between at least 3 to 4 languages, and I was lost at the clicks. So I do believe Colombia is a lot easier to immerse to because all you have to do is focus on learning Spanish. And if you're coming from the United States, that side of the world, focusing on Spanish is you may have had some kind of exposure to it, either growing up or you just heard it in the past. And so I give that to Colombia right there. And then the last way I would judge it is family friendly. Now with this, it's a toss up, and I'm going to explain to you why I choose the winner of this one. So Colombia, Medellin, Colombia is a very, very great family-friendly city and country. This is one of the things I love about Colombia. Like, there's always stuff. They have things for the kids to do. They have like, sometimes types of activities. The Christmas lights tour there is like beautiful, one of the best in the world, and all of that is affordable. Like, you're not breaking the bank doing stuff with Colombia. So that's one of the things I give it to them to the top. Colombia is like very great as a family friendly country. However, I choose Johannesburg over Colombia, over Medellin. And the reason being is there's so many markets and things to do during the day here in Johannesburg. It's crazy. And for me, as someone who don't have a desire to drink anymore, and the nightlife just not my thing anymore, it's like refreshing, man, when you're able to just get up and go do some stuff. You can plan a day. You're not just sitting at home or having to walk through a mall. So I love that, man. And I'm talking about like usually my whole month be packed with going to different markets, doing different things. So like it's not like it's a one at a time type deal here. Like it's every week there's something you can be doing during the day, whether it's week during the week or on the weekday. Like if you saw the video I put up where I did the ice bath challenge, doing something like that and meeting other guys, like it's so many things out here you can do. Like the vegan hippie connection market that I went to. That's where I got the lion's mane mushrooms out. If you saw the video where I made the little lion's mane steak, Like you, it's all of these different things that you can do here in Johannesburg, and we're talking about each and every week. So for that, Johannesburg wins to me. And like overall, and this is why Johannesburg, as of right now, is my favorite city of the two to be in, is because it offers what I want in my life right now. And what I mean by that, like I want to be able to be focused on business. Like so it's a very busy city. Like I'm always looking around and I'm getting business ideas here. Also, I want to be at a point where I can I want to be at a point where I'm at this level now where I want to see the next level of up leveling to luxury and things like that. So like seeing that here, like, it's easy to see a nice Ferrari, a Porsche, or you'll see a McLaren. I see a Rolls Royce usually every day. I see Bentleys on a daily basis. Like, so seeing that type of luxury and wealth, it helps keep in my mind like what my goal is and what I'm focused on and why I'm doing this. And so because of that, plus it's very easy here to live a sober life, meaning not full sobriety because everybody know I smoke weed and everything. But if you're someone who doesn't drink, like it's very easy here to live a life having a blast, doing fun things. Like they even have an adults version of Dave and Buster's here, if you're in the U.S., called Cracker Jacks. Went there, had fun doing the bowling, playing basketball. Great time, man. So like here, you can do things on a weekly basis, if not nightly or daily, if you're someone who doesn't drink. Like this is a very accommodating city, such as Joburg. And the other thing about it is, let's say if you get tired of the city, you can just take a little 20-minute drive to Rudy Port and you feel like you're just in the country, like you can just get a breath of fresh air. And you know what? Whoa, that's what I almost forgot about, pollution. Johannesburg, South Africa, guys. The air here is so clean, it's so crisp, it's so clear. It took me like 3 or 4 months before I realized. I was like, man, for all these cars on the road, like I'm not smelling smog. There's no pollution here. Like I've been living in Colombia for so long, and Medellin is in a valley, so it's just like Los Angeles, where the smog just sits on top of it. You can see the layers of it, and it's crazy how just being able to breathe clear here. Like Johannesburg wins hands down. Like there's not much pollution here at all, man. Like I forgot what it even felt like to just be able to live in a place where you're not even worried about smog or you're not just smelling pollution all day. So Johannesburg wins that hands down, man. Like I can't even believe I almost forgot that one. And so that's my comparison of the two, and that's why Johannesburg wins for me right now. I think Johannesburg is going to be one of those cities that I do spend a lot of my time in, even as I'm traveling across the continent of Africa. I do believe it's a special city, man. Like if you come here with good intentions and you want to meet some really good people, Johannesburg is full of it, man. I know the city gets such a bad rap, but I'm always cheerlead for Joburg because this is a really good city, and on a daily basis, I promise you, I meet really wonderful people all the time. Like right now, I have you can't see it, but I have a incense going, just having the house smell real good with that. It's a candy floss incense candle wax. Smells amazing, yo. But I didn't have the little bowl that it goes in that you set the wax in. And one of the ladies at the event just gave me hers. And, just really great people out here in Joburg. Like, I get Joburg has this bad rap, but I'm telling you, this is some of the best people I ever met in my world. Like, and it's very loving here. And like I said, I'm gonna always cheerlead for Joburg because people just don't know the darkness I was going through in Johannesburg, South Africa was the light that I needed to get through it. And so, with that, let me go ahead and end this video. like this video, if you like this type of content. Let me know if you want me to talk more about what I like about different countries and stuff like that. I can let you know. Start creating a list and a database. Subscribe to the channel so you can get updated every day when I'm doing a live video. Not a live video, a new video. I'm sorry. Make sure you follow the TikTok. I do TikTok live videos there where I'm just sitting talking and I do answer questions from you. And most importantly, just remember I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.